Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Stocks end an exhausting up and down, but mostly up week with some impressive gains and another all-time closing high for the S&P 500. But of all those stocks, one stood taller today than just about any other: Google. Google shares have gone where few stocks have ever gone before, breaking through the $1,000 a share barrier today. The stock closed today at $1,011, up $122 a share, nearly 14% after blowout profits we reported yesterday. Now, you may know Google as the world's top internet search engine, or as the owner of YouTube, or as the company whose Android operating system powers the largest number of the world's smartphones. But there's a lot more to the company and where it sees growth in the future. John Ford has more on Google and what's next.
A banner day for Google. The company has arguably its most impressive day of trading ever, rising more than 13% and closing above $1,000 per share. Now, the last time it rose that much? 2008, a rough year for stocks when a few good days offset a year when the stock lost half its value. Today's trade was all about Google's third quarter earnings report and signs the company could prove to be as dominant in the area of smartphones and tablets as it was in the era of the web. As we approach the 10th anniversary of Google's IPO next year, the company has grown far beyond its roots as a search engine. Its ad network outside of its own sites pulled in more than $3 billion last quarter, 21% of revenue. YouTube, the ubiquitous video site it acquired, now pulls in more than $1 billion a quarter. And its Android operating system has become a global smartphone powerhouse. Along the way, Google's become an extension of many of our brains.
We were directionally challenged, and so we, try to find restaurants or something in different cities, and Google always saves us. We can always follow the map and find out where we're going.
I use the Google Docs, Google Drive, and all that stuff. I think it's brilliant and helps me a bunch with work.
Beyond the maps, the video, and the cloud, Google's become a major player in our retirement accounts too. It's the top holding at Fidelity, where it's part of 87 funds. It's number 7 at Vanguard, where it's in 30 funds. In so many ways, Google is everywhere.
The internet, in a lot of ways, becomes like electricity. It's just around you all the time, always available. And I think that's where Google really seems to be pushing the envelope and having the ability to just have all your information available to you wherever you are at any point. Not having to sit at a desk, stare at a screen, not even having to pick up a phone and put it to your ear, but having it simply around you, much like we think of electricity today.
This historic rise for Google, a bit reminiscent of Apple's run last year, which saw it peak just above $700 a share in September. It tumbled for the next 9 months, losing nearly half its value. We'll have to see whether Google's good fortune lasts a bit longer. For Nightly Business Report, I'm John Ford.